So, you good?
Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
we're
say
live.
welcome. I'll say welcome to the Ruth and Corey show. So you got to say I'm Ruth. Don't forget, you're Ruth, not Corey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ruth and Corey show.
I'm Ruth.
And I am Corey. This is the Ruth and Corey show's monthly tea and tarot. We're so glad you all are here. Thank you for watching. If you're watching later or watching on YouTube right now, we're trying out this new idea. Not new idea, it's new to us, of streaming live on YouTube. Now, you won't be able to participate in the chat if you're on YouTube, but if you're in the Zoom, then you'll be able to chat with us there. So thank you for joining. Thank you for your patience as we navigate ourselves through all this really new, cool technology to us. Anyway, so again, thank you so much for being here. First, what I'd like to do is open up some space for us to be able to be ourselves. So close your eyes. You can bring your hands to your heart center if you like. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Relax. Another deep breath in. And relax. Center yourself in your heart center. We ask for divine guidance and assistance from our spirit teams. We ask and put a dome of golden white light around us, around every participant, around this broadcast, that only transmissions of the highest realms of love and light will come through. We ask for truth, we ask for fun, we ask for high vibrations, and allow this information to go out to those that need to hear it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. Right. Okay. All right. Are you ready, Ruth?
I'm ready. Let's
Let's
go.
go. All right. So we've got some announcements of events that have already passed and are coming up. So the first one I wanted to mention was our last podcast that dropped last Friday called Upgrading Your New Year's Resolution, where Ruth and I do a deep dive into the difference between setting a resolution on the first of the year, which is a very common practice, and setting intentions throughout the year and how you navigate that. Well, not necessarily navigate it, but how do you put support networks in place? How do you make sure that that's not going to fail? And that's what we really go into, is how do you get those intentions not to fail? And we give you how to support that intention through spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical support structures. It was a really good time, Ruth. You agree?
I agree. It was fun because you walked me through manifesting something that I wanted, and that's a good example. There's also a worksheet to that podcast as well that they can write it out, make notes, and set an intention with spirit.
And we'd be happy to entertain any questions on that podcast. If anyone wants to know more about how to manifest something, just drop us a DM or a chat or email us. You can go to our website, or not go to our website, go to our Patreon, the Violet Flame 432 on Patreon, and you can drop us a message on any one of the videos that are on there. So, yeah, that was fun. So the next thing I want to talk about is on the 16th of January, we've got upcoming the Quantum Leap with Sound Healing Meditation. And in this one, this is going to be really, really cool. Ruth, do you want to explain this one a little bit better than I can?
So 1 year ago, I did this meditation with a lady, and she had us connect to our future self 1 year, 10 years, even 3 months from now, whatever resonated with you. And you just imagined it in front of you during the meditation, and then on cue, you just sunk that person's energy into your body. And what it does is it took your highest timeline vibration that you had envisioned, and you brought it into your energy field. I did that last January, Corey, and I had no vision for this podcast. I did not know I wanted to work with you. I don't even know if we had done our first natural and spiritual wellness fair. We did not have a community chat. And here I am today. So I am really excited to see just how that works for everyone, to see where we're going to be 1 year from now when we just tap into the energy of our best and highest future selves 1 year from now. And of course,
I don't even know. Sorry, I stepped on you. Say that again.
no, and of course you're going to be doing the sound bowls, so that's going to amplify the energy. I did it in the quiet of my house, so I'm excited to do it with the sound bowls.
Me too. That's going to be a lot of fun. I was going to go back and say, I don't even know that you and I knew each other this time last year. I think we had just met when I did the sound healing, sound therapy talk for CC in, where was that?
It was in Culpeper, Virginia.
Culpeper. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I can't remember what month that was. It might have been December 2023. I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this time last year, if you'd actually done that meditation this time last year, you and I hardly even knew each other at that point, let alone knew each other well enough to say, hey, let's do a podcast.
Right.
And it was all your idea. It was not my idea. And here we are. And we're having a really good time, which to me is the most important thing. Great. So Ruth, I'm going to turn this over to you. Oh, one more thing. One more quick announcement. Watch in the upcoming weeks, probably sometime in February, we are going to be dropping a podcast series on sound therapy and sound healing. Ruth and I had the opportunity, or have the opportunity, to interview some very prominent figures in the sound healing and sound therapy space. And it is going to be fantastic. You're not going to want to miss this series. So if you're not a member yet, please go to the Patreon page, sign up as a member for $7 a month so you can see the series when it drops. Or what's the other place?
We will be putting it on YouTube, but it's going to be out. We're going to give our members first dibs to it.
Right. That's it. So yes, members will see it first, and after a couple months later, we'll release it to the public. But for now, I will turn it over to Ruth. She's got a few instructions, and I'm going to get set up for a quick sound bath.
Yeah, so I asked Corey to do a 2 to 3 to 4 minute sound bath just to be able to center me, to get us all actually in a meditative spirit so that I can ask these questions. We're going to be looking at physical health, energetic guidance for January, divine masculine, divine feminine energies, and maybe some world news stuff sprinkled in there. And if you would like to leave a question, you can join us on the Zoom. Again, go to patreon.com, violetflame432, or you can join up and get ready for our next February tea and tarot. We're going to try to do them once a month. But for now, I invite you to get comfortable, get your tea, get your slippers, get your favorite coffee, your breakfast pastry. And we will do this format by connecting to Spirit first. Then Corey will ask me questions. If you are a member of our community, you can put your questions in the chat or type Spirit message if you just want a general mini message from Spirit. You can ask any question that you want, and we will be able to get to them in the chat afterwards. All right, Corey, are you able to turn your, okay, you have the cameras up. Perfect.
Can you see me okay?
I can't see your face.
Oh, let me fix that.
We got to see your face, Corey.
Fine.
I do love your setup and the beautiful, yes, that's great. A little bit down. Perfect.
That should do it.
The beautiful colors there.
Thank
All right,
you.
so I welcome you to get comfortable in a seated position or lying down and just feel into, you can drop into your body, or another way of saying it is like take an elevator to feel your heart space, let it expand, and just feel and be present. Go for it, Corey.
Now you can take a deep breath in, breath out, slowly open your eyes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Corey.
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to give him a moment to get on here. So we invite the presence of Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and I invited in the Ascended Master, who is known as El Moria, but he is known as King Arthur. And I work with him, Archangel Michael, and King Arthur. He was also one of the wise men, and he ascended and assisted humanity in the spirit of truth. So the spirit of truth is, I believe, actually a being that the Bible called Holy Spirit, or the Spirit of Truth, and many people call it Excalibur, the Sword of Truth. And so I want to invite the presence of Excalibur, the Spirit of Truth, Holy Spirit, into this live, that all information would be for our best and highest good. Okay, Corey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, your voice is a little bit low.
It is.
Yes.
How about now?
Try it again.
How's that?
That's better. We
All
got to
right.
see your face. We got to hear your voice. Okay, so go ahead and I will turn it over to you.
Great. Okay, so I do have a list of questions that I'd like to ask Ruth, but like you said in the instructions, we'd love to hear from people who are viewing this live at the moment. If you have anything, please put it in the chat, and we will absolutely get to it. So, Ruth, the first question I have is, we want to do a physical health check-in, and the question here is, what physical challenges may we face in January? And what kind of guidance does Spirit have for these physical challenges that we may face?
Good question. Perfect. What physical challenges? Okay, thank you. Okay, so our challenges are coming up as Five of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. And this is telling us that our challenges is going to affect us first in our mental plane. And it's because there's certain things happening to our health that is actually responding to some of the mental stimuli in our environment. And I'm being guided that this has to do with the cosmic shift, the change into the age of Aquarius. This has to do with all the worldwide events and the things that are in our head, some of even the world phobias that are going on. And some of this, our challenge is going to be staying in our bodies, staying connected to our physical bodies. So it's going to feel like our energy wants to just go everywhere, but the challenge for our physical is first just being present with ourselves. I believe that the last month of December was very tough on our bodies, and in the month of January we're going to be healing certain aspects here. Okay. Yeah. We were brought as a collective out of balance physically in the month of December. And I believe that's because of the winter solstice. The winter solstice was like a changing of the guards where the sun, especially in the northern hemisphere, the sun got lesser and then it started up again. And it's the winter season for our bodies. So I'm seeing the cold and the flu. I'm seeing the lack of sunlight is going to be a challenge. And but I'm hearing the words, the worst is over. It's very interesting because most people feel it more in January and February. So I'm very curious. Let's ask Spirit. Yeah, we have balance coming in. Some sort of assistance and balance coming into our physical bodies starting in January and February. We have a new beginning. Further clarity, please. Yeah, we're getting assistance. We have the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands represents energy, an actual influx of energy to our bodies. So we are going to be divinely assisted as well as energetically assisted to actually heal our bodies like we've never healed it before. And I'm seeing here that if we will take the time to just put a little bit more into our bodies than what we gave them last December, we did a little bit more vitamins, or we did a little bit more of a detox, or anything that resonates with you that you feel your body's asking for. It's going to be like one step is going to be 5 steps. So again, we know that everything in our body has an energetic counterpart. So the energy of our physicality is going to be supported possibly through the sun's rays, and it's going to stream in. So anything we do, if we eat a little bit more vegetables, if we take a little bit more vitamins, do a little bit more meditation, anything we do for our physical health is going to be like 5 times increased. So it's going to be a big benefit to us. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. The challenge will be the challenge will be, Corey, that if we let our mind play tricks on us, it will affect us physically. We've got to stay grounded and centered no matter what happens in the world. That's the challenge to our physical health at this point.
Okay. All right. That actually brings up another question. I was thinking as you started that particular reading that grounding was going to be important, and the challenges that we see coming up. For example, now we've got these new wildfires on the west coast of the United States that are pretty serious at the moment. And I'm thinking in my mind, these are the types of things that we can expect to see happen that are going to pull our energy away if we let it.
Correct.
So you can let your own mind get, like you were saying, let your own mind get all twisted up with what you're going to start seeing, or you can stay grounded and keep your energy and just understand that these are distractions.
That's a good way of putting it. And what I'm seeing when you said that was that if we can keep our energy focused on ourselves, it will go to our physical health. So it's like it can be siphoned away by our mind.
Right. So that actually perfectly leads in then to the next question, which is an energetic check-in. And I think these two questions are just going to go perfectly hand in hand. In fact, we probably should have just asked them together. But for the energetic check-in, what kind of energies will affect us emotionally in January, and how do we navigate them? And I suspect that it's probably going to be very similar to what we just discussed. But let's see what Spirit has for us for that question. What emotions will affect us? I'm sorry, what energies will affect us emotionally in January, and how do we navigate them?
So we have here the High Priestess energy for the past energy. And this is a very psychic, very spiritual type of energy that affected us throughout the month of December and the first part of January. This is very spiritual. I believe that there was a lot of spiritual forces affecting us in the energetic realm of Earth. So if you could see Earth as a realm, and has an energy field. Sometimes there's cosmic forces. It could be the sun, it could be angelic forces, it could be anything, Christ consciousness coming down to the earth. But I'm also getting this tug of war with darkness, some psychic more pull, and it was like this tug of war. That was the energies we're coming out of. We're coming out of a very intense tug of war. Current energies we're in is Nine of Wands and the Death card. And the Death represents intensive transition in tarot. And the Nine of Wands represent protecting ourselves through the intense points of transition on our earth plane. The center of energy is positive. January has an energy of a portal, a transition point. Two of Wands is taking steps to make a journey. So it's like the preparation, the plans. So January has the energy of it's time to make plans for what you want your best future to look like. That's the supporting energy in January. It's going to support us in rethinking, relooking, and you could say investigating, where do I want to be at the end of the year, or where do I want to be in 3 months? This is the supportive energies. It's going to support us in our movement forward, anything we do to move forward and to better our life. But the energy surrounding the collective will be an energy of transition, moving into something different, and it will be very important to protect our energy again, which is going back to the grounded. See how she's actually covering her face from the sun because it's too hot outside. But she's got her one wand and she's growing her plant on the vine is growing. And she's got the other wands behind her as a backdrop or a protection behind her. So this is definitely the energy of January. It's almost like the universe is asking us, where do you want to go? Because we will support you. Just let me know. But if you want to go forward, you have to leave certain things behind. That's the energy I'm getting for January. Also, guidance is Ace of Swords. Be authentic, be authentic, be authentic. What is working for you and what isn't? Asking yourself, investigating, say, okay, where do I reach my highest potential? What's holding me back? How can I be true to myself? That's definitely how to navigate the energy of January, because with the pull, we could even go into timelines. Are we going to choose the side of light or the side of darkness? That's where we are in right now. We're going through a tremendous transition and a choice point. And so the best way to make the right choice is just to be authentically true to ourselves. And we will be supported in the month of January to make those authentic decisions and to authentically look at where we want to go.
Now, it might be tempting for some to ask the question, well, Ruth, can you pull on both the light and dark at the transition to tell me what might happen in either? I don't think that would be a healthy thing to do, because that gives the quote unquote dark side energy when you even consider it. So my recommendation for those of you that may have that question about, well, what are the two timelines? What do they look like? How about just, what does the higher timeline look like?
Exactly.
That's what we want to focus on.
That's well said. Very well said. That's really the energy of January. We will be supported if we're looking at authenticity and light. That's where the support lies.
There you go. Authenticity and light. That's where we need to focus in January, and that will take you to the higher timeline as you hit that transition point.
Correct.
Did I understand that correctly?
Correct. Yes.
All right. I'm getting the hang of this, Ruth.
You are.
Awesome. Okay, so I kind of also want to combine the next two questions. And Spirit may have a better way of answering it. Maybe it does need to be answered separately, but the next two questions deal with masculine and feminine energy within us all. So if I took the first question on its own, the question would be, what is guidance? What is the guidance for our divine masculine energy that's within us all? The second question would be, what is the guidance for our divine feminine energy within us all? But I'm feeling like I need to ask that as a combined question. So the question to spirit would be, what is the guidance for our divine masculine and feminine balance of energy within us all? If you don't mind me modifying that a little bit.
No. We can definitely do that and see what comes up. I already have several cards flying out of the deck. Spirit wants to answer. Okay. We have 7 of Swords. This is a little bit of deception. This is a little bit of trickiness, a little bit of manipulation and lying. Like, just in the background, this man is actually choosing several swords, leaving 2 swords on the ground, but he's actually stealing them. And swords represent knowledge or information, thoughts, and minds. So there's a little bit of words and trickiness here, and maybe us not fully understanding our true masculine, feminine, and there could be a little bit of trying to manipulate on the. So I'm seeing here of we've come from a society where we feel we have to manipulate to rise above the other. Whether the masculine tries to be in control and sometimes the feminine tries to be in control. And not just in people, because I am seeing a message coming in of our consciousness, we put ourselves at odds. And we feel like we've got it. Well, you need to do it my way. Well, no, my way is better. But I'm also seeing it's within us because everything external comes from within. And I'm seeing here that Spirit's going to be asking us to see within ourselves. So let me explain it this way. Masculine energy is the more of the actor. Spirit gave me several words: the provider, the protector, and the strength. Those are just how I see masculine. So within ourselves, we need to provide for ourselves. We need to protect ourselves, which is the energy of boundaries. And we need to be morally, emotionally, mentally strong. So that's how I see it. And I would love your thoughts afterwards. So that's one part of society and one part within us. They call it, is it the left brain or the right brain? And then the other side is masculine, it is femininity. And the divine feminine is receiving, it is creativity, and it is emotion and connection. And so there are times when we need to sit back and receive from Spirit. We need to connect to our inner guidance. We need to be able to create, and nurture. Nurture's huge with the divine feminine. So we've come out of balance in our society, and especially within ourselves, of where we might give to others, but we don't give to ourselves. And that's an overly masculine, out of balance within. I've had a very imbalanced masculine, because I would just give and I would never set boundaries. But then also you could go to the imbalanced feminine, where you just expect to receive, and you just want to receive, and you want to be all about your emotions, and if people make you upset, you go off on them. That's the imbalanced feminine, where it's all about you. It's all about your emotions and your feelings, and you need to bring them into balance. So Spirit is highlighting that sort of the pull and tug between masculine and feminine. So identifying that energy, we go into the 2 of Wands. We had this in the other deck come out, which again is a portal point. It's a point of transition and making plans of how to bring that. I'm also hearing the words awareness. Awareness of what we're feeling is very, very important. But let's continue, because there's another message coming in. Balance, the card of balance came out. The card of transition, and the card of protection, 4 of Pentacles. So I'm going to pull one card for masculine energy and one card for feminine, and then read the entire message here, because it looks like there's a major transition coming in. Masculine, feminine. Okay. Masculine energy is coming up as the Wheel of Fortune. A lot is happening in the collective with our masculine energy. They're going through a massive shift collectively. This is energy of like several years and lifetime changes. This is when the divine is coming in and their higher self is coming in to make massive changes in their life, or if we take it with the energy within us, within me. And I'll tell you, Corey, the changes in me just this year of getting into my masculine energy and learning how to communicate, learning how to say I can do this, but I can't do that, has been huge. And I didn't realize how imbalanced I was. I thought that because I'm a female, I'm divine feminine, and that's all. It really woke me up. And then, so my own masculine resonates with this of learning how to be healthy, the protector, the provider, and the strength. Feminine energy is coming up as the Queen of Cups. This is an emotionally balanced king. Very interesting that it's a king because it means it's connected to the masculine, but she is emotionally balanced where she knows her emotions. She's aware of what she's feeling and she's okay with it. It might be that she feels a certain way and it's not the most positive emotion, but she's aware and she is responding to it with the healthy masculine energy. So this is very positive within the masculine, feminine energies within us all, is we're both going through major transitions. We have the Death card, and the biggest thing we're both learning is self-protection, self-regulation, self-emotional awareness. What are your thoughts on that?
I want to first say that as Ruth was going through this, I just want the listeners to understand that when she is describing anything that sounds like gender, we are not talking about gender here. Whether you are an XX or an XY or a whatever is irrelevant to this reading, because no matter what your genetic makeup is, you have both masculine and feminine energy within you. And the point of this reading was to understand that that energy, in order for you to be your highest and best self, your goal is to strive to balance that energy within you. So, for example, Ruth mentioned that she had an unbalanced masculine energy where she wanted to give. That has nothing to do with her gender as being a human female. What that means is that she needs to further embrace her feminine energy, being a female, to balance out that masculine energy of wanting to give. And that means to, just as much as she gives, to receive, and be okay with it. To understand that it is okay to accept help. It's okay to accept gifts. It's okay to get things that are being given to you. You go into receivership. That's just one example. So that I think the cards were spot on. Absolutely. The cards were spot on. And all they did, in my mind, all I could see was this yin yang the entire time that the cards were being pulled and interpreted by you, Ruth, is just this total yin yang going on where, but I did also strongly hear that I needed to mention to the listeners that we're not talking about gender. This has nothing to do with gender. This has to do with you as a soul, that your masculine and your divine masculine and feminine energies are best suited to your highest and best good when they're balanced.
Well said. Perfect. Yes. Yes, I like it. I like it. And of course, our body is just a reflection. We will have more energy in your presentation on this earth realm called your body based on certain energies. But it's beautiful because we were all meant to work together. We were. And that is the crux of the show. Is I asked Corey because I wanted a solid masculine energy in my life to anchor me down, because I can create. And then I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? And I needed his masculinity to root me down, say, okay, we can do this, let's do this, let's do this, as well as it's just a calming effect. And we just bounce off of each other, and it's beautiful. It's
Right. And I totally agree with you there.
energetic, all
And
energetic.
what I didn't realize was that I needed a balance as well. I needed to have a driver to kickstart my creativity. Now, we complement one another very, very well in this particular scenario, and I'm not suggesting whatsoever that this goes outside the realms of my marriage, because my wife Sonia has absolute she completes me as a person and as a soul, and provides me with another type of feminine energy balance. In this particular case, this is more of a feminine energy balance that spirit needs me to understand in order to help raise the vibration of the human population and the earth. That's where this particular balance is coming in. So again, I just need to stress that this has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with our human relationships when it comes to commitment. It has to do with the balancing of our energies as soul bodies. Therefore, the collective. So again, we have this family dynamic of my family side, but I have this friendship dynamic with Ruth and others in our community, and we all help to balance one another when we come together as a collective.
Exactly, exactly. And you can have two people, like I have several relationships with other women that I work with, and we can offset the masculine energy as well. It can be in that area as well. But again, I like how you say it's the soul aspect. It's the spiritual, energetic side of life. And so it's good that we as a society are starting to recognize that first. We wouldn't make so many mistakes on the physical realm if we first understood energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yeah, and Ruth, I think there's something else I need to say about this. Just I don't know why, but I need to reiterate that this type of cooperative relationship, again, does not in any way take away from the committed relationship that I'm in with my wife. And I think that needs to be made perfectly clear, because there's some listeners out there right now who kind of have that in their head, that this may be that I may be getting support where I should from this relationship, where I should be getting support from my married relationship, which is not the case whatsoever. Again, this is a matter of balancing with the collective, because as Ruth mentioned, she has other women that she works with. I have other men that I work with, and vice versa. And she has other men that she works with, and I have other women that I work with. So it's all a matter of balancing the collective, not individual relationships necessarily.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I think that just needed to be made absolutely clear.
Right, right. Because it is a different concept.
It is.
It's a very different concept.
And it can be tough for some people to understand.
Yes, yes. Perfect. Okay.
Yes. Next one.
Next one.
Okay. All right. So this one we're gonna shift a little bit,
Okay.
and what we're going to ask here is Spirit's guidance on this question: what is occurring with karmic relationships in the collective, and are they healing or being separated? So again, what's occurring with karmic relationships in the collective? Are they healing or being separated? That just goes right along with what we just talked about.
It does. It does. With the transition. What's going on with karmic relationships? Okay, there's a lot of work happening in our relationships right now on the earth plane. The past energy is coming up as the Page of Pentacles, and this could be a little bit of inauthenticity, sort of doing what you've always done just to get the same results, just keep everything. It's a little bit fake, but it's not intentionally fake, it's just a program. So the program of our relationships is being highlighted as in the past. The current energy is a lot of work is being done on our blockages. So we're becoming aware of certain areas in our life that are blocked. And this could be areas of finances, areas of relationships, areas of friendships, of community, anything in our life where we don't seem to be progressing forward. We're becoming aware of the blocks. We're becoming aware of the subconscious patterns. We're becoming aware of things that aren't moving forward, like why do I always feel this way in this relationship, or why can I not get ahead, why can't I move forward? And so there's an awareness coming to it, and people are really doing the inner work, Corey. They're actually sitting with themselves, like this woman with her pentacle here, her coin, and she's knitting. She's sitting with herself and she's just saying, why? And here's the card of lack. So we're being highlighted right now of the areas in our relationships or in the way we respond to relationships, of anything that's either sucking us dry, that's draining us dry, or where we feel lacking emotionally in that relationship. Where are we headed toward? Ace of Wands. This is positive. I need to get further clarity on this Ace of Wands. This is definitely suggesting that there are new relationships that are going to form in 2025 that are much more high vibrational. Wands are divine inspiration, passion, energy. We have healing. Okay, so there will be a healing of some relationships, but the fakeness has to go. Page of Cups. She is the fake one. She's the one that keeps doing things and intentionally is fake to get a result. The higher self is coming in our authenticity and our spirituality. So I believe that the collective is hungry. I guess that's the word. They're hungry for authentic connection. And some of us don't know what that is, but we do know what it's not. We're at that point of where we might not know where we're going in our authentic relationships, but we know something isn't right. And this is just the energy of people who come into our life. Karmic relationships are people who come into our life who are there to help us grow, and we learn lessons from them. That's just the best way to explain it. They kind of trigger you and you trigger them, and you're meant to learn a lesson. And sometimes the lesson is, I don't want that behavior. I'm going to move on to this behavior. Sometimes the lesson is communicating. I don't like this, but I will do this. So let's heal the relationship by setting boundaries. So you can have the karmic relationship where you have to actually leave it, or you can have the karmic relationship where you need to learn a specific lesson to heal it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep. And that can be very uncomfortable. But if we don't recognize it for what it is, we miss an opportunity. So I guess what I'm getting from this is don't fear those situations, scenarios, tests, those opportunities. There we go. Don't fear those opportunities. Those are learning opportunities that you need in order to balance yourself, in order to heal karmically.
Exactly. Everything is here to help us learn and become a better person.
So let's also talk about this particular portion of that too. Is go with your inner gut feel, go with your guidance, because you don't want to keep repeating the same patterns, like you mentioned earlier. You don't want to keep repeating the same patterns that end up with the same results. So that's not what we're talking about doing. So, I mean, an easy example is, relationships. Why do I keep attracting these toxic relationships? Well, there's something to learn, but this is an example. It might be that you need to learn to set the boundaries to keep those toxic relationships away from you.
True. Very
That's
true.
that's what I mean about this being uncomfortable. So as long as you continue to allow those toxic relationships to exist, they will continue to exist. When you learn the lesson of having to put those boundaries up in order to protect yourself, divine masculine,
Mm-hmm.
then those toxic relationships no longer find you.
Exactly. That's well said. Well said.
And that's karmic healing right there.
That's karmic healing. And it happens to all of us. It's part
Yes.
of the life experience. Okay, I'm going to plug my computer in, so go ahead and ask the next question.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Let's see here. Whoops. There we go. All right. So the next question is we're looking forward to what we can expect for 2025. So this is a question about a 2025 overview. Are there any world events we should actively be manifesting out of reality and or into our reality for 2025? So are there what should we be manifesting, actively manifesting out of reality or into our reality for the world's highest and best good?
Right. So, as a spiritual person, I don't want to neglect that there are things that are in our reality. And you mentioned the fires. In the past, we've had the drone sightings, and we are all wondered about this or that. And instead of focusing on every specific event, I just wanted to see what Spirit says. Okay, if there is something we need to pray about, then we need to be aware of, okay? A health pandemic or whatever it is. If there's something we need to prepare for, let us know. But if not, tell us what we need to bring in. So that's kind of where I see that question, if that makes sense to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay. We're just going to do a full reading here.
All right.
I love this card deck. This is my World News card deck, and Archangel Michael rides on its heels. It has its energy. I think it's alive and breathing, my card deck. Sometimes I see them as special beings. I'm so weird. Okay. Spirit.
We love your weirdness, by the way.
Thank you. Manifest messages from the higher realms. Some people call them galactics. Some people call them angelics. Some people call them cosmic beings, ascended masters. I was not expecting this, you all. Manifest communication and messages from those who are supporting humanity in a beautiful, light, vibrational way. It's almost as if there's an attempted communication to connect with Earth Plane. An offer. This is the offer card. An attempted communication to work with. So this could be personally, your guides could be trying to connect with you. But then I also feel there's going to be an increasing raising on the Earth Plane of guides to nations, guides to cities, guides to people groups, where, as in the days of Atlantis, they would have a special deity like an angel that would give messages and protect them. I feel like there has been a struggle of who is going to be the predominant assister of humanity. And in the past, we've had, you could call them negative beings, you could have AI thought forms, you could have just conglomerates of evil people in high places that produces an energy field where it's hard for light workers to exist or people of light. And it's like they always get pushed down economically. Corruption has been rampant. But there's been a struggle in the area on the worldwide plane of whose cosmic energy or spiritual energy, just in the energetic realm, whose energy is going to be the predominant factor on the earth plane. So what we have to manifest is that the beings of light are the primary guides of humanity on the world stage, whether you're a city councilman, whether you're a mayor, whether you're a president, whether you're a politician, whether you're a CEO, a CFO, whether you are Elon Musk, whether you are any world leadership, we need to pray in divine support to them. Downloads, inspiration, thoughts, ideas. I really want to make my city a healthier place. So let's make sure the water supply is good quality. Those downloads come from divine inspiration. And it also comes from their higher self. So we really need to manifest and pray that good thoughts, good ideas, divine inspiration come to all leaders in the economic and the political and the world stage. We also need to manifest good things on the financial system. People need help financially. People need support to live life and to enjoy life. And so praying for financial abundance for the world stage will also be very beneficial.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow, that's fascinating. Wow.
The spirit guides to our leaders. I never thought of that.
Yeah, well, and not just our leaders, but on all levels.
All levels.
Leaders on all levels. And I'm also going to include something in there that again, this is not from the same. This is not what Ruth is saying, but I'm going to add in there that we also manifest spirit guides for the family leaders.
Yes.
Let's keep those families. And honestly,
yes.
we all have our own spirit guides. Whether you choose to listen and use them is totally up to you. And that's where responsibility starts, with you as the individual. But it grows from there like a tree. It's not top down. It grows with the individual. So if we're going to look at this hierarchy of spirit guides, let's not forget the spirit guides. Well, you did say people group, but I want to define that a little bit further and bring that down into the understanding of the family as well. So family spirit guides that the family could tap into for guidance and instruction.
That help grow families financially, relationshiply, all areas of the family dynamic.
Yes.
And that's going to create the community. Our spirit guides are going to work together, and it's going to create community. And then it's going to create that. And that's really the way to transform our world, is to start with ourselves and then to work on out.
That was an incredible message to actually bring it from. You really brought it from the world stage down to the individual level, which is, again, where the seed needs to be planted and nurtured and watered. And a lot of them are already growing, but a lot of them are not yet. Right. So this is a fantastic message for 2025 to manifest spirit guides on all levels, but starting with the individual and then moving up from there.
That's good. Wonderful. Yeah, I was not expecting that. That's beautiful. All right. Do we have any questions, Corey?
We do not have any other questions at the moment.
No worries. This has been fun. And I'd like to say to you all, we will be doing one in February. Please sign up to the Violet Flame on we'll put the link in the description box below. And we will be doing one in February. You can drop us a comment on our website, the Patreon group, or through an email, or join us live as well. in our Zoom chat for members. I'm excited. This has been fun. Very
It
nerve-wracking.
has been fun. Absolutely. Really enjoyed it. So I'm going to close us out now with a 3-minute sound bath. Following the sound bath, I'll close the space and then we'll end the transmission. And so until next time, peace, love, and light. I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, hold it for just a moment, and then release it.